Hello everybody, this is Genghis School College Institute Academy. Today we're going to be talking about net forces, how to calculate them, and what balanced and unbalanced forces are. We're going to be starting this off with a simple problem. This is Timmy, and this is someone I don't like. So, they are pulling a rope. They are pulling a rope. They're playing a game of tug-of-war. And this dude that I don't like is pulling this way at 31 newtons. He's really big and strong. But now Timmy here, he's been on steroids. So he's pulling this way at a whopping 1,235 newtons. Now, if my math is correct, that means that Timmy is a monstrosity, but is also causing this rope to go, if my math is correct, 1,204 newtons in this direction. Hopefully pulling this dude that I don't like to his great and never-ending pain and suffering and demise. But we don't have to worry about that. What we have to worry about is this is an example of an unbalanced force. Now this unbalanced force in particular is an unbalanced force that is pulling this way and also comes out to be very obvious. Now this is 31 newtons and this is 1,235 newtons, but it's not always going to be that simple, and there's not always going to only be two numbers that you need to do. Now this is a different scenario. Let's say that it's another game of tug-of-war. Pretty simple. Now there's this dude, right? He's pulling this way at 32 newtons. And this dude is pulling this way at 41 newtons. And this dude over here is only pulling at a force of 60 newtons. Now, they're all still playing tug-of-war, but these dudes are pulling in this direction and this dude is pulling into this direction. Now you can see that since these dudes are pulling in the same direction and this dude is pulling in not the same direction, that we're going to have to add these together since they're in the same direction. Now let's just do that real quick. That comes out to be 73, and we're going to have to subtract this, which comes out to be 60. We're going to have to subtract them. So it comes out to be 13 newtons. Now this is 13 newtons in this direction. Now what this 13 newtons means is that this person, similar to the person that I did not like in the first problem, is going to be pulled to their great demise, which is hopefully off of a cliff or into some kind of volcano. I cannot decide that, as I'm not part of these people. But this is an example of an even bigger unbalanced force. Now, let's talk about a balanced force. Now, I know that kind of gives away what this problem is going to end up being, but we'll worry about that later. So, this is a car. It's a supercar. It's a super cool car. It's a super fast car. All the boys in the world want this car. All the girls in the world also want this car. Everybody wants this car. Not only the boys and girls, but also the not boys and girls, also the animals. Everybody wants this car. This is a very cool car. Let me spell that out for you. Cool car. Now, it is pulling this way at 142 newtons. A lot of newtons. A lot of force. But then the Hulk comes along, and he's like, boy, howdy, boy. He wants that car dead. He despises that car. So what he's gonna try and do is he's gonna try and drag it off of a cliff. He really doesn't want that car to exist anymore. So his idea is grab it from the behind and chuck it off. So that's what he tries to do. But they're moving in opposite directions. So it's almost like you could say a game of tug of war. Now the Hulk, he's the mightiest Avenger. He's the strongest Avenger, you could say. Now he's pulling this way at 121 newtons of force. Now you can go ahead and look at this and be like, but then Xander, those aren't even. That's not how math works. You're stupid, and I hate you. And you would be right. You do hate me. But that has nothing to do with this. Please stop calling me. Please stop texting me. I already know. But what ends up happening is this man, don't know if you've heard of him, named Iron Man. Now he's small and puny, but he can still help. He comes in, and he helps by pulling this way with an extra 21 newtons of force. Now, if you know how to add, like I showed you in the last example, you add these because they're going in the same direction. Both of these are going left. So you can go ahead and add those. So that's going to be 141 newtons. And then we can just go ahead and add this one, which is 141 or 142 newtons. And then we can just go ahead and subtract these. And you'll see that the answer comes out to be 0 newtons. Now what this means is that nothing's going to be changed. The Hulk and Iron Man, they're going to look like wimps because and even while they're powered up, while Iron Man's in his suit and Bruce Banner is in his Hulk stage, they're not going to be able to pull this cool car, which makes this car even cooler. Which leads me to our next situation. This was a balanced force, by the way, but I'm just going to steamroll into the next one. This is an even... Oh, shoot, I didn't mean to do that. This is an even cooler car now because it beat the Hulk and the Iron Man. I mean, it didn't beat them, but it survived without getting a scratch on it. So now it's a cooler car, which means now it can go 169. It can go 169 newtons. It can go 169 newtons. It can pull with 169 newtons of force now, which changes this. Well, I mean, I could swap. This is now the car. This used to be them, but this is the car now. Which changes this to 169 newtons, which means that the total standby is 27 newtons of force. And that 27 newtons of force is this way. And it's all because the Hulk and the Iron Man suck. Or at least at pulling cars. Can't say anything about anything else. Now, I'd like to thank I'd like to thank you all for watching this video. And, I'd like to thank specifically my teacher, Miss Merle, for making this experience possible. And thank you for tuning into Genghis Khan School at College Institute Academy's video on unbalanced and balanced forces, and net forces, which are just the same thing, subcategories and all that shebang. But yeah, thank you for tuning in, and I'd like to see you in Newton's 3's laws of motion. Goodbye.